everyone, welcome on back. My name is Jean. Today I have a viewer request to make a cover for the sticky note from Dollar Tree. So we'll be using our We Are Makers Thermal Cinch binding machine today. And this sticky note, these are from Dollar Tree. These are 3x5. And then she also wanted to know if I could make a cover for a tall, it's a grocery list. I could not find that anywhere. What I did find though was this to do kind of notepad. So we're going to make a cover for this instead then. For this, we're going to make, for the first one, we're just going to kind of go over what I've been showing you guys in my other videos, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how just to make, you want to put a cute little cover on here. You don't want nothing fancy, whatever. You just don't like looking at this. You might want to carry this in your purse, whatever. Okay, so what you need, let me bring this up, is for this one I got the pieces ready. The other ones we'll kind of put together. For this one, because it is 3x5, I want my cover to stick off over the edge a little bit on both sides, not the top side. That's got to be flush. So I'm going to go 3 1/4. So I went 3 1/4 this way. You can see then how much I have on each side. And then the same with the bottom. And then I went 5 1/4. Let me show you notes. I went 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. You need to cut 2 of those. Then you're going to need your little cap piece. Okay. That piece is going to be 1 1/2 by 3 1/4. Then you're going to need your glue strip. I already put some down in here, and we'll go over the glue strips a little bit more too. Here, because this is a 1/2 inch, we put 2 of them together. Like I said, I'm just showing you quickly the quick, easy way. Then we're going to be more slow with the other ones. Next step you're going to do for this is an easy one just for you're not even much of a crafter, but you guys can do this, okay? The next one's going to be a little bit more, and I wouldn't say difficult, but it's going to look more finished off, and you can use those for your craft sales and stuff. This one I would not use for a craft sale. This one I'd use for my own personal use. Okay, you want double-sided tape. You're going to put one on each side. So that's going to hold down your cover. Okay. Put that down, and I'm going to take one off. And now when I put my covers down, like I like to kind of fold it back up. And then make sure you have this the right way. This will be my top down here. I'm just going to butt it right up against my glue strip. Okay. Tight up against there. There we go on that side. Same thing on this side. Bring that back up. I like to stand it up just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Make sure I have my pattern the right way. And again, I just take it and stand right tight against that glue before I push it down and make sure it's in there. All right, there we go. All right, so now we have that, okay? These you can use scrap paper. You know, you can find, if you have scrap paper around, but you only need a 6x6 pad of paper otherwise. But I've been going on my scraps. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tuck this inside, okay? Now we got to even it so we have the same amount around all 3 sides, or pretty darn close. You see I got a little gap or a little bit coming off each side, but I can see that is terrible. So let's get that over there a little bit. Okay, and then what I like to do is stand it up and then push it down. And I can see I got to slide back just a little bit. How's that look, guys? Pretty good? You know. There we go. Wants to slide on the top and not the bottom. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I like to make sure it's pushed down pretty good. Pushed in there. Tight down in that glue. Now, because this is a 1/2 inch wide, these pads, I got my little clamps that I get from Amazon. I think a box of 20 or whatever. So now we're going to turn this on. Okay, it's going to blink for a little bit. And when it goes solid, we'll be able to use it. Let's take that, put that down. Now see how, like, you know, you kind of got like, you know, just your raw edges there. It's not very like, you know, nice looking. I mean, it's nice enough for you, you know, if you're just, you wanted a little quick cover on. I can see I'm not straight down the bottom here. If you just want something for yourself, you want a pretty cover, you don't like looking at just a pad there, you know, that's what this is for. I'm gonna bring it closer to me. Sorry guys, but I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, that looks better. As soon as it goes solid, then while that's going, let's get ready with, we'll be doing a yellow pad next. Get that up there and ready. And I've got my paper here we're gonna use. Still blinking. Move that off to the side. Okay, there it went solid. Now, oh, nope, it's still blinking. I thought it was stopped. Okay, grab our little pieces here, and I'll show you what we're gonna be doing now. For this one, we are gonna need, there we go. Okay, now all we're gonna do is just like a toaster, this is gonna open. So we're gonna push it down in there. If I can see down in there, because I have to make sure, because it's a 1/2 inch. And I like to, I kind of push down and slide it, then I know I'm hitting the bottom. So I'm gonna push it off to the side, where you can see it, and I'm gonna push the button, the start button. And when it goes solid again, it'll be done. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna need 2 sheets of paper that are 5 5/8 by, sorry, 4 1/8 by 5 5/8. Okay, so 5 5/8 long by 4 1/8. So we need 2 of them. Then we are going to need 2. This will be for the inside. So then we're going to need 2 of them that are 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so that would be 2 of them. Then again, we just need 1 of our binding piece, and 3 1/8 by 1, trying to find a spot for this, 3 1/8 by 1 1/2 for this one. Okay, so while that's still cooking, as we want to say, let's do some scoring. These 2 we don't need to score at all, so we'll put these up above. And don't worry, like if we don't catch it and it sits in there a little longer, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. For these 2, we're gonna score a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay, so 1/2 inch, and then I'll just turn just 3 sides. 1/2. Oop! I almost cut the paper on that one. Where's my other scoring tool? I don't like using this. You guys know that. You guys know I don't like using that because I always cut my paper. Okay, 1/2. Okay, so it's ready. We'll get it just a second. 1/2. Don't worry about it. It can sit there. It won't hurt anything. Okay, I'm going to get this on the surface. So now we're going to pop it out. Now it is hot, but it won't burn you, but it's quite warm. And put it down. Now sometimes I take and, see, this is pretty thick. I'll take and smash it down to kind of smash all the glue inside of it. I don't know if it works or not, guys. I just do that. Whether you want to or not, I gotta take this off now. Whether you want to do that or not, I don't know. That's just me. I just think I'm pushing the glue in there a little bit more. Okay, so we got those 2. And again, for this piece, we're gonna do a 1/2 inch on each side, or a 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So a 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. So that we get that 1/2 inch in the middle where we're gonna put our glue stick. Okay, let's put that back away. Now, while get our glue strips in here. Now again, what I told you in my other videos, let's show you on this side where you can see the color, is you do not want to put your glue stick right to the edge. If you put it right to the edge, it will leak out. It has leaked out on me. It didn't bother me. It leaked out in here, but actually the next project I did, it kind of melted onto that project, but you couldn't see it, so it didn't bother me. If you want it close to the edge, you go close to the edge. So I keep it away about that far. We're going to cut 2 of these strips, and I'm just going to eyeball, and I'll tell you about what size they are. Don't worry if you do make them get too close to the edge or not. It's not going to hurt nothing. These are just under a 3-inch. So let's cut 1 more of those. Then we're going to glue them down in there. And then we'll get this ready. Okay, I push that up so I know what I'm working with and I can see my score marks. Take the backing off. Did I say I think this was for Sheila, right? So Sheila, I hope you like this, what I came up with. Bring it away just a little bit and then go right against that score line, okay? Because we got to get 2 of them in here because this is a 1/2 inch. The other one's only a 1/4 inch, so we won't need to use 2 strips for the other one. Okay. Now we're going to put this right tight up against the other one. Don't worry if you kind of hit the score line a little bit. It doesn't affect nothing. Okay, so we have that piece ready. Now for these pieces, what side can I show you on? See these little corners that we made, this little square? We made this little square right there. Trying to sew it. We don't need those. So both those squares are going to go bye-bye. So just go on an angle and snip them off. Okay. Snip, snip. This is kind of like you're doing an album. If you've ever done an album cover. Okay. It doesn't matter how much you take off. Just take, you know, take that off. So we're going to fold back those edges. That. See, and then that's going to be your cover. And now you can see that your edges are going to be more finished. So it looks a little bit more like maybe an album kind of thing. Now here you can either glue or tape. For time purposes, I'm going to tape. You can just run some tape down. Edges. Okay. Any double-sided tape you have is fine. Oops, went over my score line there. Okay, get the other one. Stick my fingers together. One more. Okay, now let's take those off. I'm just going to bring them up. Go to the other corner. Sometimes when one doesn't want to, well, now, sometimes if my corners are a little sharp, I just kind of give them a little pat on the corner, kind of flatten them down a little bit if they're too pointy for you. Okay, see, now we have that. Oh no, we're not done yet. So we got that piece. Now we can do this one. Okay. All right. That one in. Beautiful. Okay. Now we have these 2 pieces. Those are going to go on your inside. And you don't really have to worry about up here because that's where it's going to hook together to the book. So I just kind of center it down best I can. Now here I'll use my glue because it'll take me a lot longer to put tape down on this piece. Okay, this will finish the inside of your notebook. Just kind of straighten it the best you can here. Isn't that pretty? I love those colors. My little thing is too close. It's banging every time I do that. I have another viewer request I'll be doing in a couple weeks with the cinch binder again. If you have requests, go ahead. I'm going to try to get those out of the way before I start working on the other projects I have that I want to do on this. Okay, so now we have that. There's your back and your front. And they're going to go on like that. Now our next thing is the same thing we did with the other one. Oh, we forgot to put tape here. I forgot my tape on these spots. I thought I did that. And again, you could glue. I've used glue before too. Just this is a little quicker when I'm making a video, so I don't have to wait for it to dry too much. Well, if any of that goes over the edges, just pull it back. All right, so now make sure you have, this one doesn't have a top or bottom, but you know that this is your top. Where it's unfinished, you gotta make sure that's your top. This is your bottom. So we're going to do the same thing as the other one. We want to put this right up against our glue stick and in on both sides, even on both sides. And then I just lay it down. Now do the other one. Make sure you got the right side. Again, we're going to lay it in here. Okay. Now, what else? At this point, what I like to do is first get it squared off. Bring back my scoreboard. Okay. So what I like to do is right under here, I'm going to score. So we're going to line that up to the 5 mark. So we'll go right underneath your band here and score. And I just go back and forth a couple times. Then I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. That's going to help. I'm going to leave that one unscored. I'm going to show you. That's why I didn't score that one. I'm going to show you the difference. Why I like to score. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Like I said, I'm not decorating the fronts on these ones. I just wanted to show her how to make her own little cute little cover. Now this one I didn't leave as much on edges for you because I wanted to show you the difference. This one I probably left only about 1/8 inch around just so you can just barely see a little border on the outside there. So I didn't leave as much on this one so I could show you the difference. Try to tuck it in there just a little bit. Okay, how's that look? And I'm pushing it down to make sure it's down in there. Let's start our machine. Oh no, it's already heated. I want to start again because I didn't turn it off. So the light is solid. I'm going to push that one down. Okay. And now we'll start. Let's take our other one. So now here's the other one. Also, can you tell how flimsy this one is? And I'll compare it with that one. Because we didn't, fold our piece around stuff. This one is really, really flimsy. Oops, that's the back side. We don't need to care about the back. It's pretty flimsy. So now because I didn't score here, it's gonna give you some resist. You can pull it up like that. Now, because these are still sticky notes in here, don't just rip them out like this. You've got to kind of pull it up a little bit to get to, and then you can rip it out. If you try just ripping it like this, it's gonna rip. because there's too much sticky. This one has quite a bit of sticky down. So what I do is, if I want to rip them off, I push it up and then I rip it out like that. Let's get that other piece out from before. There's that one, but now see how flimsy your cover is? And now, I think I showed on my other one how you can put ribbon around these too, but I have some nicer album things that are in the works. Now this is just, like I said, this is just basic. If you want this just to throw in your purse, whatever, it's just the basic one. But this is not very sturdy now. I would never sell these at all. Okay, now let's get working on this other one. Now we are going to cover, and this is a good one to show. Like when I did my sample one, as soon as I pulled this pad of paper out and I picked it up and I went like this, and it fell apart on me. Now this one's not going to do it, but the other one, well, we can do it to show you. So the other one had fallen apart. I mean, they came apart really easy. Okay. So this is a good one to actually, you know, make yourself a binder. And if you don't want to cover it, you can just make a binder, make yourself a new binder. If you don't want to make the full cover, because my first one literally fell right apart, and this one fell apart pretty easy too. But, and then if you want, you can put magnets on the back and put it on the refrigerator. So let's make a cover for this one. This one's going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, this one's done now too. Oh no, not, yes. You know what, I'm doing two to three different things at once. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to give it, you can see I'm just going to give it a little tap down and I kind of rub it. Now you don't have to do that. That's just me, okay? Let's put that in there in the cooling station. All right, now let's take my next stuff here and I'll show you what you need for this. All right, so I have two sheets of paper that are 7 3/4 by 6 3/4. Now the 7 3/4 is the length, so make sure you get your pattern paper. This one can go either way with little bees on. Isn't that cute? Okay, and then you're gonna need two. This is gonna be our inside, that are 7 by 5 1/4. So you need two of them. This was a full sheet of paper that I used, a 12 by 12 pack that I had. My binding piece is going to be 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. Now I'm making a little bit wider binding strip on this one to show you guys that you can make a wider binding strip. Okay, here these ones are 1/2 inch. So we made a 1/2 inch binding strips on these, and these are going to be 3/4 inch binding strip, just so you can see. All right, same thing. Here's what we're going to do. Push you aside. We have a mess going on. These are my inside covers. No scoring on those. Push those aside. These guys will need to get scored. We do not need that big clamp for this. Isn't that pretty? This is Craft Consortium. I don't think they sell anymore. I think I looked it up, but if they do, I will link it. The other one I know not. That's some scraps that were in my stash, but this one I'll look up, and if they still have it, I'll link this one for you. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to use the yellow side. All right, same thing we're going to do here, guys. Easy peasy. I just think this makes these look a lot nicer if you want to sell them to someone. 1/2 inch on all 3 sides. 3 sides, not 4 sides. Okay, 1 there. And okay, now this one, we only need a 1/4 inch in here because this pad of paper, whoop, I didn't show you, but put it back together, is only a 1/4 inch, just not even quite a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so we're gonna do a bigger binder on this one. We're gonna go 3/4, and then I'll flip it and do another 3/4. Or you could do 3/4 and 1 3/4, and then 1 inch if you want to do it that way. Now you can see it left just a little 1/4 inch in there. Okay, that one's got a shimmer on it. That green back side is that. You could do that on there too. why I like this paper pad. And you could put anything. It goes so nicely together. So you could, if you wanted to put that, but I'm going to put the dots. Okay. Let's get this strip ready. This time, hopefully, we'll get it ready. And fold on your score lines. And you don't have to crease it down. That's not what you have to do. We're not making a card. So I just want to fold it. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to need another strip because this one's not long enough anymore. So let's get another strip out of here. And again, we're going to, when you first start the strip, it already has, you can see that where it starts and your tape starts. Oh, wrong end. Actually, that's the tape, so I got to bring that back. I thought that was that thing. Okay, so let's bring that back. Again, we want to get back just a little bit. And then we're going to cut it right about there. I just eyeball things, guys. 5.5 inches, though, if you need to know. It's not right. I mean, there's no right or wrong. Even if, you know, if it doesn't turn out the way you like, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, let's get this. Make sure I'm getting in between the lines. It's hard to see on pattern paper. It's really hard to see. I want to stay on my finger. Okay, now we're going to run some tape down. So I'm going to run 2 pieces of tape down. One along the edge here and one by the glue strip because this is a little bit wider. I'm going to run 2 strips down. I have a little stamp block that I use, but I don't know where it is. You know, I just do it the hard way. You don't need no special tools when you're crafting. You really don't. On most things, you don't need to. Okay. That's ready to go. Now, just like we did with the other one, we don't need these little corners down here. See these little corners where they intersect here? We don't need those. So I'm going to just cut them off. Cut them off. And, all right. Now let's run our glue tape, our tape, not our glue stick, our tape. Most of the time I always use glue because I like using glue better than I like using tape. But because I need it to be dry before I want to send it in my little here, I'll use the tape for now. But you can use glue definitely. Okay. For a minute I thought I was doing the wrong side. I'm like, didn't I want that side? No. Okay, one more. Okay, pull that up. All right. Just pull all those off. Okay, here it goes. Now we just fold that 1/2 inch in. That just gives your cover a nice little edge. Okay. Okay, get that one. When I'm doing projects and stuff, I usually just leave this sit on all the time. I just got to remember now, yeah, okay, it's all heated up, so okay, we can go. Because sometimes I forget, now did I just turn it on, is it heated? But if it's solid, it always means it's ready to go. If it's blinking, it's not ready to go. Okay, now we're going to put these pretties right here. This also, by adding this layer on, also helps make this a little bit more sturdy. See that shimmer on there? Some of the paper in this pack has a shimmer on it. This just helps. Also, I'm going to get that one corner is a little sharp there. It helps make it a little bit more sturdy. So now I wanted a little bit more border to also show, because I like that paper. And so you can just kind of see the flowers matching the dots. You can do as much as you want, or as little. Maybe you don't want any border to show. Then don't. If you're one of those people that don't want a border, then don't have a border. I like my paper underneath to show just as well. Okay. Center that up. One. Then we're going to put that one down. Okay. There's your front and your back. I don't know if you can tell, like, just like how flimsy, like, look at, I mean, that's pretty. And then like this one here is like, so that's just basic. Okay, let's pull these off. Get them off without getting, come on. All right. Pull that back up. Put my top. I'm just gonna lay it down. Make sure I got my edges where they need to be. And I'm putting right tight against my little inks, my glue. You can see, I put it, where are we? Right tight against my ink. I said it again, my glue strip there. As tight as you can get it against your glue strip, put it there. You know, sometimes dealing with this tape. This does not want to. Okay, find my crease marks so I know what I'm doing. And again. There we go. Got that in a cute. So stinking cute. So it doesn't matter which one you do. All right, now the trick is I'm gonna hook this together because it's apart now. And you don't need, by the way, you don't need this piece if you don't want this cardboard on the back. Like, you can keep the cardboard on if you want, or take it off. For these, it has just a little piece of paper like that. You don't really need to keep those on if you don't want to. I do on some, don't on some. Okay, now let's get this back. This is my top, my bottom. I'm gonna hook it here on the bottom here, just until I get it in. Isn't that pretty? It's a pretty pad though. All right, now we're gonna put it in here. And first, I'm just gonna kind of lay it down and make sure I kind of have it on both sides. And I just did a small border again on this one. Push it in there. Take that clip out right now, so I can push it down in there tight. I gotta go that way just a hair. hook that. Look it over. All right, looks good, and it goes. Now, where's the other one? All right, so now I don't know if you can tell, like, make sure I got the top here where I scored it. So now, instead of like pulling that back like that, you know, you just have, you can just like break. I like to score my covers, but then also, on the ones I'm going to be showing you is the fancier ones or whatever. We'll be putting some ribbon around, so if you want it to, so like, you know, see how it goes up. No matter, it's going to pop up a little bit. So I'm going to show you some different closures on some of the other ones too. Okay, but you can just see the difference in the paper. The same thing. You just want to make sure you put, because like that's down a good 3/4 of an inch. The post, the sticky part. So I push it back a little bit, and then I pull it off. Get most of it to come off. First one, by the way, on any pad, when you make a pad, the first piece seems to be the hardest because I don't know the glue strip. And then after that, I can usually get them off pretty easy. Now I gotta get that piece I ripped. But, so now you got a really nice cover. You can see your edges are done better. It looks more like a book. And then you can decorate this any way you want. You can put on it like, you know, just a thing saying notes, or you can put some cabochons on, flatbacks, whatever. You can do whatever you want for decorating them. You can put the person's name on there. You can do whatever you want. These would make really cute like gifts. You can give a pen, which one of them I will be doing a pen holder on one of my albums. I'll be showing you how to add a pen holder to them too. So you can use these as like your shower, or like a shower gift or something for a bridal shower. Okay, so I can take this out. And again, this is just me. I don't know if it helps or not, but I kind of just, and then I rub it to rub that ink in. Oh, ink. Why am I saying ink, guys? Oh my gosh, that's called glue. Glue. Okay, so we got those two. Get that out of the way. So see how, like I said, this is just, this one I left up good 1/8 inch around. This one I barely left anything around. But, you know, it's just, the paper is just, you know, it's just real thin. But now here you have a nice finished product that, and once you know, put some ribbon or something around it and decorate the cover any way you want, then you'll have a nice gift to give someone. Like I said, this is up, you know, 1/2 inch. These are really pretty nice Post-it note pads. Okay, we're going to be like, you know, we don't want to play with this too much because it is not still drying. Can trust me. I have tested one and it just completely came apart. You can just see how wet it is. You really have to let these dry. And now I wanted to show you something too, because if you forget, that's why I didn't do this on this one. If you forget and you darn it, I wanted to do a score, right? Say you want to do a score but you forget. You can still do a score. I've done that before too. I just run my little guy right along here. So even if you wanted to afterthought, maybe you did want to score it, you can score it after. You don't need to score it like I did before. And I just run it right alongside there, and then I slowly, and you can use your ruler to help you out. Put your ruler right there. And make sure I got it straight there. So, and then that'll help you get a nice straight line. So you don't have to score it. Oh, I scored the wrong side, but that's okay, because this is the side we want scored. So what happens when I didn't look inside the pad? That doesn't matter either. Okay, put that back on there. You can score both sides if you want. That's the pretty inside. Okay, so now you have it scored again. You got this pretty inside. Bring it back down a little bit there. Come on, no, that way, this way, this way. The pretty, like I said, you can put a big thing on saying notes or, you know, whatever. If you have some little things that go with the paper pad, you know, you can put some of the stickers and stuff on. So you can decorate any way you want. So that's a simple way to turn these into, you know, like a nice little book. And I believe this one was a Post-it too. Nope, this was just a regular, but it'll still, like I said, the first one, guys, is always, it seems to stick to that glue more than the other ones. So I always have to kind of like, there we go, get that first one off first, and then they usually come off easier. And you can pull those right off if you don't want them on there. So there, I hope this helps you out, Sheila. So we have the big one, and then we did the smaller one. And I didn't tell you the size on this big one, I don't think, either. So that paper pad was, let's just do the paper pad. That was 5.5 by 7. 5.5 by 7. And like I said, I went to 4 different Dollar Trees before I found this Post-it note in my area. Went to 4 different Dollar Trees. Never did find the grocery list that she wanted, but I did find this to-do list at the last one. So you're just going to have to search your Dollar Trees and see if they have them. But you can do this to any Post-it notes. All you have to do is, I measure, like I said, I measure like an 1/8 inch border on each side and the bottom. You don't have to do the top because your top has to be flushed, you know. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. There will be a lot more. I've got one more viewer, so far, one more viewer request for this binding machine. And then we'll get into the albums and stuff I'm doing. And if you have a request, go ahead and leave it in the description below, and I will get to it as soon as possible. As always, guys, though, thank you for joining me. Bye now.